Hey guys, Papa Pete here. Just thought I'd make a quick pickup video because I had a couple great pickups this weekend, over the last few days actually. And believe it or not, they're going to be PS2 pickups. At this time last week, I owned one PS2 game. I had a few, but I think I gave them to 64-bit about 3 or 4 years ago. System, all my games, everything. I think I kept one wrestling game, one of my SmackDown versus Raw games. Anyway, I had a couple deals this week I just couldn't refuse. First of all, I have a friend who I've bought quite a few games from over the last 2 or 3 years. And he messaged me last week, middle of the week, and said that he had this PS2 system and about 9 games, and he would sell it to me for $50. Well, not being in the market really for PS2 games, I declined. I said, no, I don't think I'll get it this time. I really didn't know what the games were, but I hadn't collected any PS2. I thought I could save that $50 for something else. Anyway, he put it up online, Facebook for sale, and I guess he didn't sell it. He messaged me back this weekend and said, hey, $40, it's yours. So how do you beat that? $40, I got a PS2 system, and what started out to be 9 games, but I'll show you what I got from him after all. He ended up calling me back today and says, hey, guess what? I just went to my storage locker to dig out some old games, and he found 11 more games for it. So I think there's 20 games for it altogether. So anyway, I'm going to go through them pretty quick here, because most of them are there's no real super games here, but there's a lot of really, really good games. Games that I like. First one is ATV Off-Road Fury. I got Cabela's Big Game Hunter. That's a good game. Those are always fun to throw in and play for a little bit. I got Stuntman. I'm not familiar with that one at all. There's a lot of PS2 games. I have not played a lot of PS2. A lot of the sports titles and like Big Game Hunter such I'm familiar with from other consoles. But to get them for the PS2, you know, for the deal that I got, how do you top it? I'm not familiar with this one either. I'm gonna have to check it out. It's called Giants Citizen Kabuto. Giants Citizen Kabuto. Don't know much about it. It's not a high value game or anything, but I'll have to check it out. Manual and everything's there, so I think it's an old rental game from somewhere. Beatdown, Fist the Vengeance. Again, I'm not familiar with it. Mature game though, Capcom game, so I got to check that out. Any Capcom games are worth checking out. And Spawn Armageddon. I got a few more from them. We got Sprint Cars, Road to Knoxville. Different game. I've never seen this one. I like racing games, all sorts of different racing games. One thing I did find out is, find strange, ATV Off-Road Fury 3 is the book that's in it. Yeah, not a real big deal. Maybe I'll find that game. Maybe he'll come across it sometime. And buddy of mine, he'll give me a call if he ever finds that game locked away with his DVDs or something just misplaced. And then I'll get it probably, you know. Here's one that I wasn't familiar with, and I checked it, and it's actually a fairly good game compared to most NASCAR games. And you know I like NASCAR games, right? 64-bit. This one's actually more rare. It's, you know, in the $15 to $20 range if you were looking for it. And it's NASCAR Dirt to Daytona. I haven't tried it out yet because, frankly, when I checked it the other day, the disc wasn't in it. It had a copy of Dazed and Confused DVD in it. And it's like, yeah. So I mentioned it to him, and he took a look around today for his Dazed and Confused DVD case to see if the game was in it. Anyway, when I was over there talking to him tonight, he says, hey, did you think about opening the system? Well, I did. I popped open the system. Bang, there it was. It's in really good shape. Dirt to Daytona, book and disc. So, of course, you have to have other NASCAR games. My buddy is a NASCAR fan. So, NASCAR Chase to the Cup 2005. And NASCAR Thunder 2004. And then this one. This is the only baseball game I have for the system. It's MLB The Show 11. Alright, so I got a few more from that bunch. Alright, so we had a few football games. ESPN NFL 2K5. I think I've got that for the Xbox. We got Madden 2004. And NCAA Football 2003. Okay. For the iToy Groove. There wasn't an iToy with it, but apparently he probably has one somewhere, so I might get that someday from him too. iToy Anti-Grav. And he had this copy sealed in the box. SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs. Greatest Hits Edition. We've got Karaoke Revolution Party. Also for use as iToy Enhanced. So I think you can play this one without the iToy, but it must be better with it. And last but not least, in this bundle from him, Resident Evil Code Veronica. It doesn't get any better. Anytime I find a Resident Evil game in a lot like this, I know this is not worth a whole lot, but it's just a good, high quality, high caliber game. No book, well, actually, no book at all with it. And actually, that's got Devil May Cry inside. I think that's just the bonus disc that comes with it. But anyway, the 2 discs are there. There is no book with that one, but that's alright. Okay, now I said there was a system, so also with that setup, I had the small version of the PS2. I had a large PS2 at one point. Like I said, I gave it to 64-bit. This is a little tiny thing. I think I've got enough room, since I got the small one here, that I'm going to be able to hook this one up. I got to get some more cables to hook the rest of my machines up, but I'm trying to get all my different consoles hooked up. So I haven't got a PS1 or PS2 hooked up right now. I think we'll go for it. Overall, I was really happy with, like I say, all the cables. One controller came with it, and I'm very happy with that pickup. Now, the ironic part about that is the day before he first messaged me, and no, I didn't jump on it even after I had this lot. I only jumped on it a couple days later. But anyway, I was flipping through it's called the Money Saver, and it's a newspaper, a little newspaper where people can send in ads and such and advertise yard sales and stuff for sale, etc., etc. It's been around in our community about 30 years. Well, Facebook is sort of replacing these things. They don't exist as much anymore, but it still is put out every week, and I don't look at it very often. Our flyers all come in the middle of the week, and because it put out. And last Wednesday night, I picked it up, started flipping through it. Very rarely do you see any games for sale inside of it. Well, right front, 29 PS2 games, $20. How could you beat 29 PS2 games, no matter what they are, for $20? Canadian, remember? That's about 15 American. Anyway, I called the person right up, because it was the day the book came out, and they had not sold them, and I ran right out and got them right then and there. So I'm going to go through these pretty quickly as well. First of all, Medal of Honor Frontline. Now, one thing I want to say about these games, these are from a personal collection. The lady who had them said they were her son's. The son was talking to her about it. The son knew that she was going to sell them and said to her, like she told me, the son said, "You'll never sell those. Nobody's going to want those old games." Well, they're in immaculate condition. All 29 are in incredible condition. With the books and the discs, nothing at all wrong with them. So they're great. So anyway, Medal of Honor Frontline was the first one. There's SOCOM Navy SEAL. So I have the sealed one from the other batch, which was, I think, the Greatest Hits version. This is the regular Black Label version. And again, mint condition. So I have one that I can open and play, too. U.S. Navy SEALs. I got SOCOM 2 and SOCOM 3. I've never played these games, but, when you see somebody who obviously has played a lot of games, and, they have 1, 2, all 3 versions of one game, obviously they liked it to buy the second and the third. So it has to be a good game. Alright, so, remember, I'm in Canada. Everybody's going to have these up here. But I didn't have this version in any other system. NHL 2001. I remember that being for the PS1, but not the PS2. So this is probably like the first hockey game to come out for the PS2. We got NHL 2003. I've got that for a few different systems. And we got NHL 2K6. Alright, some of the other ones we see all the time. Alright. NASCAR 2001. Perfect. NASCAR Thunder 2003. NASCAR Thunder 2004. That's a double. It was another set as well, so I've got an extra. NASCAR Chase to the Cup. Chase for the Cup 2005. Yeah, 4 or 5 games. I love playing NASCAR games. I have 4 or 5 different ones here now. Will I play them all? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure if we'll get to it. But it's still worth throwing them in there just to see the different drivers and such. NASCAR 06. Total Team Control. So that's pretty much the whole set of NASCAR games for the system. I'll double check that, but there won't be very many more. Alright, so now on for a little bit more interesting than just the old sports games. Well, not too much. ATV Off-Road Fury. That was in the other set. ATV Off-Road Fury 2. So I've got 1, 2, and the manual for 3, but that's it. A lot of people love these games. They're great games. 64-bit was into them big time at one point. I've never played them a whole lot, but they're still fun just to play with. Tony Hawk's Underground and Tony Hawk's Underground 2. They're really high caliber games. Now we get to something a little bit more interesting. We got, I've never seen this one too much, Freak Style. Looks like a motocross game, trick riding game. We've got Cabela's Dangerous Hunter, so I got the big game hunter, and this is a Dangerous Hunter, so just different version of the same type of game. I've got Grand Theft Auto 3. I'm not real familiar with it. I've played a few of the Grand Theft Auto games. I don't think I've played any of these older ones. I can remember playing Grand Theft Auto 2 on the Dreamcast, and it was so different. It's nothing. It was the top view looking down version of it, and then of course it was right after that they started coming out with the actual 3D model in city perspectives, and it's amazing where they come to now. So I might try that out just to see, play this for a while, then do 5 just to compare it. I've always loved wrestling games, so I'm happy to ever see one of these. I got SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth. I love all these games. I always love wrestling. Whatever, it's fun. You know, it's always fun playing the games through the seasons. Alright, we already saw one of this once, but I got another copy of Resident Evil Code Veronica. And it is, again, it's the same disc on top, so the other system was the right disc. The Resident Evil Code Veronica disc. Perfect manual. It's great condition. NBA Jam. That's alright. I love NBA Jam. If you had played it back when it was first out, you would realize how revolutionary it was. It really was a lot of fun, the arcade style, and in the arcades as well. It was so much fun, and it was one of these games that had the stereo speakers, and people would play it, and people would stand around and watch it because it was exciting, and it just created a good atmosphere around the arcades. The home system really does about the same thing. Sean Palmer's Pro Snowboarder. Snowboarding game. Don't know much about that one. What do we got here? Oh, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. I hadn't shown that one. I think that might be the only Tony Hawk you would hear. Yep. So Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Again, all the Tony Hawk games are great. Unreal Tournament. That's a classic. Devil May Cry. I'm not real familiar with this game. I've heard of this game. That's the bonus disc that came with the Resident Evil one as well. Probably just smaller version of it, a cutback version, because it's just a bonus disc from the 5th anniversary edition of Code Veronica or something like that. But again, I mean, it's just like brand new. Oni, I think it would be called. Again, I'm not real familiar with this game, but I always like to find games like this in any pickups that I do. The Godfather, the game. I used to see this game in every store going. It's just like a LA Noire or like a Grand Theft Auto, like playing through a third person setup. But think about it, I really don't know what all that came with it, but there's map with it. There's the book. There's all the inserts are in behind. So you might find this somewhere like inexpensive, but you're not going to find it in this condition. This is just like mint. And the last one in this batch is an amazing game. Everybody loves playing it. The Simpsons Hit and Run. And it's in quite a bit of demand too. Especially, I always like getting the greatest hits versions are fine, but I really do like getting the black box versions. I call it black box, or if it was on Xbox, like I like the original one, the original releases. Those are my favorites. So I actually had this game back in the late 2000s. I had it, and I had Road Rash for the PS2 that I had. Well, like I say, back over 10 years ago now, or close to 10 years ago. I gave it to all the games. I gave them to 64-bit there when he started collecting his games. So, well, now we got it back. Very happy to do so. I love The Simpsons. I love these games. They're just so much fun. I've had different Simpson games over the years, and I mean, there's another subset that I could possibly look at, is all the different Simpson games for different systems over the years. What a great video that would make. What a great collection to try to get all of those. Anyway, that's it for my PS2 videos. I've picked up quite a few more games over, and systems, some from the same guy who sold me the PS2 over the last week or so. And I've also added a few more games for my Xbox collection and for my NES collection, and I think 1 or 2 for my Atari. So I'm going to be doing some more pickup videos over the next couple weeks. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
You're watching Papa Pete, the old guy gamer.
What the hell?